Today on
Doomed!
It's a call-in show, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of listeners have reached out in recent days. Literally, I'm not just saying that. I've had a few emails from people who've been saying they wanted to call in. They had things to discuss. I'm going upstate in just a few days, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. So, and there'll be streams, as far as I know, coming from up there. You know, let's just the show started. Let's jump right into this. Give me a second to pull myself up on screen. You might notice I'm using a new microphone. I had some technical difficulties before we went live, which is why I'm a little bit late starting the show. A little bit late. Just a little bit late starting the show. And the reason I'm a little bit late is because I had some mic issues. The mic should sound good. I hope it does. Do you all hear my microphone? Is it coming in loud and clear and sounding good? It is. I've been testing it out a bit, but it's my first time using it on the stream. It's the new Shure MV7 mic, the MV7 Plus. I like it. I think it sounds good. Mic sounds good. For now, says Lanzetta. BCat says it's super crisp. Nice. The Shure MV7 Plus is the upgraded version of the mic I was using before. I'd complained to Shure about how much I love the mic, but there's this one issue with the USB input. And so they upgraded I'm sure not based on just what I said, but they upgraded the input to USB-C. And I really should just get an XLR cable because this is XLR as well. I really should get the mixer and it'll probably sound even better. But anyway, phone lines are open. You call in via Skype, Doomed Live. But before I do that, I just want to remind everyone that on Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, June 23rd, I will be upstate, at least, upstate for me, in Tarrytown, New York. It's about, maybe like 20 minutes from the Bronx, maybe about 45 minutes from Manhattan. And I'll be part of the Progressive Victory event to basically bring political streamers together. Hold on, I'll take calls in just a second. People are already calling in. Basically, this Progressive Victory event to bring streamers together to try to get out their audience to canvass for Jamaal Bowman. He is facing a tough primary campaign against George Latimer. We've discussed George Latimer on last week's episode and on last week's Leftist Mafia. I'm sure we'll be talking about the race once again tomorrow on the Majority Report and tomorrow on Leftist Mafia, and of course right here, right now, today. It's basically you have AIPAC spending an enormous, something like 20 million plus on this primary race, basically trying to get Representative Jamaal Bowman out of office due to his position on Israel and Palestine. And George Latimer has these ties in Westchester, where he's been in local government. He has his own controversies. People like to bring up Jamaal Bowman. Oh, he pulled the fire alarm at the Capitol. Okay. The latest I saw from George Latimer is that he had an affair with this woman. Don't care about that. It's his own personal life. Don't give a shit. But then she somehow ended up with this nice $150,000 per year position that George Latimer put her in. That is some sketchy shit. I'm sorry. Um, Also, he the line where he's it's just incredible. So basically, at a debate, he hounded Jamal Bowman by basically saying that he attacked Bowman by basically saying that Bowman's support is not in New York 16, the district that he represents. His support is in Dearborn, Michigan, and San Francisco, California. I don't know what you would call that other than a dog whistle about his progressive base, about the Muslim and Arab population in Dearborn, Michigan that might support Jamal Bowman, the progressive and LGBTQ demographic of the voter base in San Francisco, I guess he was referring to. And now that that's become an issue, he recently just said, I think this was today, that he wasn't talking about Islamic people when he mentioned Dearborn, Michigan. He was referring to Jamal Bowman's support, the support of Jamal Bowman from Representative Rashida Tlaib. Now, she is a Palestinian woman in Congress. She does not come from Dearborn, Michigan. There's one city that she represents in her district, but she's born in she's from Detroit. So I mean, this guy really has a habit of putting his foot in his mouth, doesn't he? Also, let's not forget that he compared Emmett Till, the lynching of Emmett Till, to what poor Andrew Cuomo went through, where multiple women accused him of improper touching, sexual improperness, sexual harassment, sexual assaults in office, which led to his resignation. You know, the lynching of a young black child because a racist mob went after him based on, I think it was that he whistled at a woman and it later turned out that she lied. I mean, and this guy also, George Latimer, he was he was on WNYC radio and a woman called into the show and she blasted him for that Emmett Till comment. And then out of the blue, he goes on about how there's nothing he can say to this woman that will make her support him because he's not of the demographic she votes for. And that if she will only vote for a black candidate, there's nothing he could do. And that's how she'll get a Clarence Thomas. I mean, my God. This guy's horrible. I'm sorry. This guy is horrible. And the public polling that's come out shows that he's up. Now, the question is, can Jamal Bowman turn out his voters in the Bronx, in Yonkers, in the sort of southern part of his district? Because if he can win. But if George Latimer has this momentum based on his position on Israel and this APAC support, then Jamaal Bowman might be in trouble. So that's why myself and a number of other streamers, um, so far I believe I've seen. Let me see who have been confirmed here. It is myself. It is uh, Surrey's Skeptic. Let's see who else. Chill Goblin. We're in Hell. Let's see who else. Oh, Hey, It's Vadim is going to be there. If I get to meet Hey, It's Vadim. Let's see. Stacy K. Nominal Naomi. And I think a few others. Um, I'm not sure about Sam Cedar and Emma Vigland, but they might make it as well. I believe I've heard Vosh as a name that's been out there. But I will be there, most importantly. And along with canvassing, there's going to be a number of media events, streams. So I will do my best to either make sure it's multi-streamed to my channels, or I will make sure to let you all know what channels it is streamed on. So you'll get extra Matt Binder content too, on top of all this. Domini Arma says Matt needs a tag name. No, I don't. That's not for me. I like just Matt Binder. That's who I am. And I think it's important to do this. On last week's stream, I did have um Sam Drzmala of Progressive Victory on, and you guys saw that I asked him some tough questions because people had some questions about Progressive Victory. Because they're a growing organization. They they have worked with some streamers who were, as far as we knew, cool in the past, and then all of a sudden, in recent months, had a rightward turn. They have cut ties with some of those streamers and have, um, other streamers are not working on this event. And on top of that, there were some questions about where their funding comes from, and I asked them about that. But for me, the fact that they're doing this canvassing event for Jamaal Bowman is the draw for me. They put this together. I credit them for that, and I thank them for inviting me. And it's an honor to be part of it. And I hope that we get turn out some people to canvass for Jamaal Bowman. And hope that it makes a difference on Tuesday, June 25th, the primary election date in New York. And worst case scenario, we build upon something new. Best case scenario, we build upon something new and also reelect Jamaal Bowman. Bay Photo says Vosh is going. Cool, perfect. It should be a good time, and we will be doing streams. Obviously, along with canvassing, and I'll let you guys in on all the details. All right, cool. Let's Oh, and the link is to sign up if you're going to be in the area and want to show up. The link for all the information is in the description of this YouTube video, and also let me drop it in the live chat as well. All right, let's take some calls. This is a call-in show. Let's go to the phones. All right, let's do this. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Jess from France.
Hey, Jess from France. How you doing?
I am okay. It's way too early in the morning, so it's
Oh,
still sleepy.
I appreciate you. Yeah, what time is it over there? What, 3?
Uh, it's not even 4 o'clock right now.
Damn. Well, I appreciate you staying up to call in. What would you like to talk about?
Oh no, I just woke up. Um,
Oh, so you already went to bed and woke up early. Ah.
yeah, I went to bed early and then woke up just to call in.
So happy
Um,
Thursday.
it's sort of a mixed bag here right now. So I don't know how much. I don't think I saw any clips or anything about the France being discussed in the
No,
majority
have not.
report.
Oh, I don't know about the majority. I don't know what they're up to. But no,
Hmm.
I have not talked about it on this show or on Leftist Mafia.
Yeah, I've not heard anything from most of the shows shows I watch on YouTube about with progressives on it. So
So here
I
you go. This is
heard
where
about the
you
news.
come in. This is where you come in and give me
Yep.
an upper hand over all those other progressive streamers, because I'm about to have all the goods on what's going on in France. Give me the rundown.
Okay, so there was the EU elections of to select parliament, and uh, a lot of the right wingers in France and Germany won, while three of the countries, the I think Sweden and Belgium and one other one, went a bit chose leftist candidates. But because France and Germany are way too big, there's way too many people that um, are selected for the parliament for them. uh, it still moved, like the whole parliament still moved right. So it is a dangerous situation that the right gained a lot
Why
more
why why do you
candidates.
think that is? What is the issue that turned people towards the right? Is it immigration?
Yeah, I think France has kept a lot of its colonial mindset for a lot of things. So because of that, the whole immigration, racism, and all of that is still a problem here. It's a huge problem here. Um, but I don't know if it's getting better or not. The national right is gaining a lot of victory in terms of political victories over here. Recently, I talked about the transphobic bill that got passed because of the Macron trying to appease the right wing. But because this whole snap election, the right wing won, Macron declared he dissolved the parliament for France itself, for locally. So I think his point was, um, just because the right wing won in the EU doesn't mean that they still have any power in our local election, and so they shouldn't get they shouldn't have a higher ego or try to pull anything right wing on it, because you don't have access to anything locally. You're gonna lose and blah blah. So I think that's his uh, thought pattern or something like that. But it's a huge risk, and he called for the snap elections on 30th and 7th, so which is in 10 days, and then so like this 2 days of voting, so on 30th and 7th. Um, and this is way too quick election, as well as the Olympics is right about to start. So is going to be crowded here, and it's way too expensive to come to Paris. I have a friend who's coming to Paris just to vote, and it's way too expensive for him. So it's a stupid thing that he pulled, but I think his thought pattern was either they're going to lose, and just like what Theresa May was trying to do in the Brexit negotiations, that he'll gain the upper hand, and then the right wing won't be able to pull anything, so his popularity or anything will be boosted. Or that even if they do win, what they are going to get is 2 years of either a small majority, sorry, not a summary, a minor rule. So this parliamentary system with multiple parties. It's not just a two-party system like US has.
Right.
So yeah, so even if they have plurality, they won't be able to pass a lot, and it's just going to become like US. Nothing gets passed, nothing's going on. Um, or it's going to be that, oh, they do pass everything, but they won't have the PM because Macron will say the PM he's not planning on retire because of this anyways, at least not in public announcement. I don't know what he's saying in the private ones, but yeah. But because of the right wing win, the multiple parties of the right wing are actually tripping over each other in trying to gain more and more popularity. Meanwhile, on the leftist front, they actually, sorry, alarm for this one. Um, uh, they actually formed a coalition and came out with a plan and came out with an agreement that, oh, we have if we win, we are going to form a government. We know how we are going to rule. We know what policies we are going to put forward, and they're still selecting on who is going to be the leader of the new, what they're calling New Popular Front, which is a hint to the previously when the leftist won, Popular Front, when they kicked out the fascist in France. So
So
this is a hint to that.
so interestingly, while the right did well in these elections, it seems like they've brought together all the sort of, left leaning and leftist parties to come together to stop them, and
Yes.
it looks like that will be the case.
On the polls, right wing is actually winning, but the issue is that if they cannot form a coalition, if they cannot work together to form a government, then it just is a locked party. Meanwhile, the leftists do have a plan, and they have formed a new uh, uh, popular front. um, yeah. So
So
the
who
I
so who, so 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 when is the I'm sorry, I know you said it. When is the election again?
30th and 7th, 30th June and 7th July.
What's the two separate dates? What is that for?
I don't. I am not completely familiar with it.
I gotta say, for
I
a second, I thought I was asking a question that was obvious or something, and the fact that
no.
you, someone in
I
France, do not know, makes me feel great.
I
I
no
asked
no.
a good question.
Still new to the country. I'm still learning about this. I think like they're not giving me the like. I think it's supposed to be the obvious thing, so it's not on most of the articles written by it's 7th and 30th. Um, but it might be just that it's to make it easier to vote. It just says two rounds, first round 30th and then second round 7th. I'm not completely clear on that. I'll type in the chat once I look it up.
Where what's Macron doing? Where's he at?
What do you mean by where is he at? He's not
Like
swimming in Sen.
like what
That
is
was
he's not part of that coalition, obviously, right?
Oh no no no. He's a centrist, so he is not gonna be so
So it's looking
what
like
the
he's
left
gone. It's looking like he's gone, right?
no no, he's still the PM, but if the sorry, he's still a PM, so he's still gonna have some power. He's still gonna be ruling, quote unquote. France, but it's like, oh, if the Senate or the House is not passing anything, then the president can't really do anything in the US.
Oh, okay,
So
got it.
similarly, yeah. So similarly, if so, what the New Popular Front has said that they are going to break from uh, Macron if they actually win. So the New Popular Front has said that it is either going to be the right wing or us, and if we win in a plurality or like in the majority, then we are going to actually break from a lot of Macron's policies, especially on austerity and queer rights and all of that. So they have announced that. So I don't know how much they are going to be able to do much either without Macron's support, but I think they can achieve quite a bit.
Right. So are the demographic breakdowns in France similar to how it is here, or is something else happening in France? Like, are
Um,
young people more supportive of the leftist parties, and then you have these older people coming out for the right?
it's sort of it is similar to that, but it is also based on where you live. So in Ile-de-France, which is where Paris is, that one is because there's a lot more people here. It's a big city, a lot more people here. It's usually the blue or leftist place state. Meanwhile, some of the suburbs are more right wing. So they still have the whole France view, the whole what like the immigration hysteria is that is running all over EU. So they still have a lot of that. Um, I don't. I think in the EU, not a lot of French people take it seriously here. So that's why the right wing won a lot more. Usually the local elections get a lot more voting from all the people, but more from occasional voters as well. So
I don't,
mm,
no, I was just saying, interesting.
yeah. So that the France does have a lot of black people that live here because of the previous colonizations it has done in Africa. So the whole migration, usually the same migration that, for example, British has with India. So they colonized India, and then Indian people come and live in Britain because they know the culture, they can assimilate very too quickly, and a lot of those reasons. So similarly, a lot of the countries that um, France has colonized, a lot of them come live in France. So there's
Right.
a good, healthy black population here as well. I don't know how much they turn left versus right. Of course, they're not a monolith. But I think quite a few of them turn more leftist because they're immigrants and they say see all the hysteria that's going on right now.
Got it.
But again, there's yeah, just like US, there's right wing immigrants as well.
So what um what is the left running on there? Like, what is their hope to turn out people
Yeah.
to hold back the right? What is the what are they
Yes.
what are they campaigning on?
Yeah, so I had this policy open, this open just for this. Thank you. Yeah, so one thing that they do have, which I disagree with, is unfailingly defend the sovereignty and freedom of the Ukrainian people,
Of the
which
what?
means that of Ukrainian people.
Okay.
Yeah, so which means that they're probably they are going to
Does
the
running on that,
coalition
like,
all.
listen, I'm for that, but does running on that, is like running on that gonna make them win? Like, how is that a
I
major?
don't
Is that a
I
major,
don't
like?
know.
I mean,
No, so
I get that, being
mhm,
that
mhm,
Ukraine is in Europe, and it's much, Russia's invasion of the country is much
mhm,
closer to France than it is to
mhm,
here. But,
mhm.
I can't imagine that's
No,
an issue,
it's not
even if
just
it's
that,
the
but mhm. it's not just that, but also there's the issue of the financial struggles that they're facing just because of the invasion of Ukraine. So a lot of the coal money, the electricity and everything that they were getting from Ukraine
Right.
has been cut off. So a lot of the countries within EU are struggling because of this whole
Right.
invasion a lot more.
Right.
So I think what they what Macron is was planning was, we just sit this out, and as soon as the war finishes, the more of a benefit. But if France is
Huh, as soon as the war finishes, well, how it's been what over 2 years now.
yeah, so
Just
yeah,
we'll
that
it's just any minute now. We'll just wait. We'll sit around and wait.
yeah. Yeah, so that's why, I think, Macron's view was, we need immediate negotiations and immediately shutting down this war because it's hurting us economically, which I kind of agree with, because they should have done all the negotiations and everything with Russia. So Ukraine should have done the negotiation with Russia while they were still winning. Now there's a clusterfuck, and they're doing a lot of forced drafts and everything, which yeah, um they should have done better. The sorry Another policy is 1600 euros per month of minimum wage, which is actually pretty great. This is pre-tax, so the real income, the net income, is going to be lower, but it is actually something that is kind of livable in France, not in Paris, just in France in general. It's much more expensive to live here.
Right.
And then creating a wealth tax that will have for climate policies and make all the school-related expenses, such
Hmm.
as transport, food, and food, free. And they're promising to rise to the challenge of climate change, which is not really much of a policy, just more like, oh, we are planning on doing this. Yeah.
Right.
They've not said anything about maybe modernizing or creating new nuclear power plants, which is green initiatives that usually countries go for. They don't really have a plan, so that's why I think what's the name? Macron was going for. Oh, you need to finish Ukraine's war.
Right. What
Yeah.
and what is the right offering? No,
Ah,
less immigrants.
yes, that plus queerphobic policies, plus yeah, the not only that, but it's similar to what the well, yeah, similar to what the right wing fascists in U.S. Are after. Just like, oh, uh, like policy, rich get richer, but or lowering taxes, because taxes here are way too high. So this that actually appeals to a lot of people. But also that does not come with all the austerity issues that the EU has. So yeah, leftists actually, they have a plan of wealth tax. So if that works, then it's like that actually works as a policy. But France already has a huge tax rate, which I'm living in.
Right.
Um, yeah, but they have an actual policy, but the far right is sort of scrambling. They don't even have a person who will be be their leader. And a lot of the unions, because union power is great here, and there's a huge union support over here. Some of the unions are actually supporting the New Popular Front, so that's great. And those unions are like some of the top ones for transport and stuff like that, which is great.
All right. Is there anything else that I should know?
1 second.
Oh,
Um,
you took. Did you take notes? I love it.
I did sort of, but I don't know what like my notes are not good. Yeah, so sorry. For the right wing, we are ready to, sorry, quote, we are ready to turn the country around and ready to defend the interests of the French. ready to put an end to immigration. So basically,
Yeah,
the
of
Muslim
course, of
immigrants.
course.
Yeah.
That's their entire. It's
Hmm.
unbelievable. And then of
Hmm.
course, um, all the issues that come with that, with limiting
Hmm.
immigration. Then they'll be whining about those issues when the right wins. Like, oh, we can't find people to, cheap labor to tend the farms. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean,
Yeah.
at
That
least that's
that
how it
point
is
we.
here. I don't know what
No. No.
what
That
what what
like
sort of labor
yeah,
immigrants
no.
and
No.
are
There is a
exploited
problem of.
for. Yeah,
Yeah, no, there is a problem of the whole undocumented labor over here as well. That is actually a lot of how the Olympic stadiums were built. So there is the whole problem of that, and they are exploited everything just like the US.
right,
I think like some of the unions actually do are against it. So if they do see exploitation going on, they do try to work together and um, either go on strike or something that makes the at least governmentally hired undocumented people to be um, documented or to not exploit their labor anymore, which sometimes does leave them without a job. But I don't know what other thing they can do, the union can
right,
do.
right.
Um, so yeah, there is the EU does not. I said already the elections. People are not really interested in the EU election versus the local election. This has been like I think this was announced. Sorry, the snap elections were announced. I think 10th. Oh, sorry, not 10th. 6th June or something like that. And then it took only 4 days for the leftist parties to come together. Sorry,
That's
to
that's like
yeah, no, no, they
that's
4 days
incredible.
of yeah 4 days they formed a policy and
We can't even
yeah
get
said
leftists to agree on
and
like
have a plan on how
the
they're going to govern and everything.
that's so who's so what are the left wing parties is that are part of this coalition?
So there is the national. Sorry, one second. Let me pull that up.
No, please, go ahead.
Uh, there is the socialists, the Greens, the communists, and the La France Insoumise. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, these are the major left parties over here. So Green, Socialists, and Communists, and whatever the other fourth one is. Um, and they have a lot of the union support. So if they actually do win, they are going to, so, yeah, they are going to have the resources and connections and everything to actually rule properly.
Well, I think we are in a very
Hmm.
uh odd time for politics all over the world. I think just like there was a bit of a right wing resurgence, I guess, in like 2016, 2017.
Hmm.
We're seeing a small version of that, or a version of that now again. Hopefully that's beaten back, and the global left gets it together. It's good to see
Hmm.
that leftists outside of the US are able to come together and form coalitions to stop the right. I mean, there really isn't a leftist coalition with any power. Like, there's no real leftist coalition that can be made with any real power here in the States, unfortunately. Um, but I guess we'll just have to see what unfolds in the
Hmm.
coming months. I mean, for you, June and July. For us here, it's November's closer than we all think.
Hmm. Yeah, so this is just the parliament. This is like the house, and this one only happened because of the calling of the snap election. But
Right.
the actual like the PM and the voting again will happen in 2 years. Like 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 years over here as well. And if they sorry out here you can only dissolve it once a year. Sorry, once you dissolve the parliament, you cannot dissolve it again for another year. So this is like at least for a year. If leftists do win, then it will be the leftist rule. But again, I don't know how much they can accomplish if they completely break from Macron, which is their plan. I think like
Has
it's a
has
bold
Macron
proposition. Hmm?
has Macron said anything? Has he
He
said anything
so
about the leftist
initially,
coalition?
yeah, initially just like he announced that he wants the everyone to come together against the far right because like he wanted to show like the whole point of this was to show
But
off
they
the
not like that.
far right.
Not like that though. Not like that.
Yeah, yeah, he wants more centrist rather and with his austerity politics and all of that like senseful uh, politics rather than the whole
We need to
leftist
all come
plan.
together. No, no, not like that.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
um
fantastic.
yeah. Sorry. One thing that the leftist party do not have a consensus on is the Israel.
Oh, I
Uh,
was about to ask that. Thank
yeah.
you for reminding me. I think I was going to ask it before, and then you went in another direction.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I
some of
mean,
the
so go ahead.
mm,
Yeah.
some of the leftist parties like within the coalition disagree with the October 7 being called a terrorist attack either, or Hamas being called a terrorist organization either. Some of them are, many of them, I think most of them are pro Palestine, but there is not a complete consensus on what to call them or what to tell to the media that what will the government be doing on it. So they don't really have a policy. They have not put anything forward for it. I don't know if it is much of a political issue here at all. I don't like because we are not active. They're not actively sending weapons or anything to Israel. I don't think people care a lot about it. Um, I like the people. Most of the people do care. Like at least the ones that are way too involved in politics. Like me. But they in general there's not really much of a we're not funding them, we don't have a voice in it, we're letting the UN or the ICJ figure it out. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, they have not really put it forward anything for it. So I think that if it's I think like because in general here there's quite a bit like at least from the leftist there's a bit of an quite a bit of an acceptance of the um, Palestinian people, then I think they're gonna govern okay for this. But again, unless the US stops funding them or supporting Israel, none of the things that people vote here about Israel are gonna make a difference.
All right. All right.
Um,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Thank
I
you. Sorry for taking so much of your
no,
time.
this was great. I really appreciate you calling in, staying up, waking up early, and walking us through what's going on. Because like you said, if no one else in sort of leftist streaming has covered this, including myself, then someone, yourself, stepped up to take care of it. So thanks for keeping us updated. Do feel free to call back in after the election and update us with what
Mm.
happened and what's going on next.
I will if I am able to get some break from my from work. Then I'll definitely call in because I usually have to go to the office on Thursday, so it's a bit harder for me to
I
call
hear
in
you.
usually.
I hear you.
Um, yeah, but
All
I
right.
work from home a lot of times, so it's still works. But yeah, sorry,
All right,
I just looked it up.
maybe
Yeah,
maybe it'll be maybe one week I could do a Tuesday night show instead of a Wednesday night. Let's see. Um, but thanks for calling in.
yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. There's a
Oh,
lot of it
sorry.
left.
Sorry.
Oh,
I just saw. Yeah. So the deal is calling for the immediate ceasefire in Israel's war on Gaza. And they
well, that's good.
alongside the liberation of all Israeli hostages in Gaza Strip, and the Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. So that's a
Well,
good
you
one.
know what? I think that sounds good. I think that's a good
Mhm.
request. I
And
mean, I
sorry,
think.
not only that, but they are also calling for an arms embargo from the EU to Israel. So
I
I think
mean,
there is, yeah,
I mean, compared to what the U.S. position is on all of this,
yeah,
this is it's great. That's no complaints from me. I mean, that sounds
yeah.
like a
No,
good ceasefire deal.
no. The issue is that they because of the right wing party being in the EU Parliament, I don't think they are going to have much of a vote on what EU does. Even if the leftists win, because that this is about the local government and not about the EU parliamentary government.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's the main point of the whole election. Oh, you won the parliament, screw you. You're not gonna win our local party. That's the literal point of the whole election, which is so dumb.
Wow. I mean,
uh,
your politics are confusing. Your country's politics, I should say. No, but
yeah,
thanks for the call and
thank you
walking
so
us
much.
through what happened, because I think seriously, what's going on right now is really important, because we this happened about 8 years ago. We saw the rise of Trump, you
Mhm.
had Bolsonaro. This was and there was Le Pen was
Marine Le Pen, yeah.
rising back then too,
Hmm.
but she didn't win like Trump and Bolsonaro. I mean, maybe God forbid, this is the France's far right's moment. Let's hope the leftist coalition pulls through here and wins.
Yeah, let's hope this is. I don't know. I can't vote, so I'm calling in. Anyone who lives in France, please go vote. Go
Oh,
vote
you're
for the new popular front.
trying to sway the election, you foreign agent. No.
Sorry, Stephen. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not from India, so sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Take care. Have a great night.
You do. Bye.
All right, folks. Let's go back to the phones. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Do, 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 do. Having some Skype issues. 1 second. Well, that was a great call. Let me quickly while my Skype is unfreezing. Let me. Oh wait, here it is. All right, I'll take another call now that it's working again. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's me, Renee. I'm
Hey,
calling
Renee,
as myself.
turn the stream down because I could hear
It's
myself.
I turned it off.
All right, cool. And now I
I'll
brought you
close the
up
door
on the.
just in
I'm
case.
bringing you up on the feed here.
Okay, how's the audio?
Sounds great. Sounds great. Everything's
But
good.
not better as yours, since
Oh
now you
wait,
have
hold
like a
on, hold on.
stereo
I want to make sure.
microphone.
I want to make sure you hear the correct microphone. I'm not sure if you're listening. Do you hear the right one? This should be the microphone. All
Well,
right,
I was
Renee,
joking
what's
about
up?
it.
What did it
Really,
talk
it
about?
really does sound okay. Yeah, it
Sounds
really
good.
sounds like yeah, it sounds like very like radio friendly, like broadcaster friendly.
Perfect. Oh, I love to hear that.
Yeah, it brings out more of the bass tones of your voice.
Ooh.
Right.
Hello.
Right. So, do you want to be known as Matt the Animal Binder or Matt Base Ace Binder
I would just
if you
like to
would
be
have a
Matt.
tag?
I just like to stick with Matt Binder if that's okay.
Not even Matt the Champion?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I just Matt Binder works for me.
Okay. Chairman Matt would be funny too.
Now that one's okay.
Right. Or Comandante.
So what'd you like to talk about, Renee?
Yeah, I'm calling about myself as myself because I was going to talk about Chile, but I sent a super chat correcting a bit about the caller's history because it was before the Nazi invasion, and also about French history that the problem with the left in France is that they secured like the most important basis of like all the social reforms and like workers benefits, and they got like very like focused on that, shall we say, and left to go on like all the other human rights and anti-colonialist like fights that the more the generation of the 68 protests and things like that that your dad probably could tell you about, um, kind of like corner that area, whereas the French Communist Party tried to stay like very like institutionalized, and that's sort of similar to what happens in Chile as well, which I also wanted to talk about.
No, go ahead.
So basically, the extreme right, fascists, as I say, fascists always copy our homework. On the extreme left, is that basically they tend to say that now the left has gone so institutionalized and so focused on being proper or being like in a legitimate force that it has forgotten about the workers in order to preoccupy themselves in politics or as they call it, political correctness. Because back in our day, like your dad and my day, political correctness was like saying bad word. I mean, what was against political correctness was saying bad words and like saying things that would make people feel awkward in a kind of like a more open-minded way, like kind of like what you might have heard from about Lenny Bruce. Now it's about like allegedly like what's broadcaster friendly and what marketing brands and like advertising creates the appearance of being like appeasing to demographics as they see it, which is basically not being rude to people that are struggling or whatnot. And the right kind of like combines it with what is woke and kind of like deform this all this. They completely turned around like the whole concept of what's politically correct and politically incorrect. So basically, we have that problem that the what fascists usually do is like just as the early Nazis is like turn around and like use the arguments of like workers and stuff like that and go against like appropriate terms like globalists and elites and try to spin it in a way to say like the mainstream politics and that they mark a difference. Of course, they lay the blame on, as you were saying, like an immigration and stuff like that, but they center on like did you see like the debate between like the candidates for the parliament in the UK where Nigel Farage managed to like worm his way in
I
and not
didn't.
and there wasn't like I mean Galloway wasn't in there
Wait, you
nor
said you said
Corbyn.
Nigel Farage, right?
Yeah, I said Nigel Farage. I said he
Yeah.
managed to worm and they put him on as like sort of like this extreme. And I was watching it with this woman. I think her name is Angela. That's on like Navarra. That has like a channel called No Justice. And I was like in her chat, and I was saying that precisely they should use this to attack Nigel Farage about because all the things that he was saying about like blaming on the immigrants because of like austerity politics and things like that were basically as a consequence of Brexit. So I think both the national parties, the Scottish National Party and the Welsh National Party, at least they attacked him for that. Whereas like the traditional, the other parties were like more trying to be like, I guess like promoting like their projects and trying to be like more, as I was saying, like mainstream in politics. So
Right.
that's what I can add to this whole um, uh, right versus left scheme as it's happening like worldwide. Here in Chile, what happens is that, for instance, the Communist Party had a huge opportunity. There was like one of the main like universities here that was always known as like a left-leaning university that only managed to get like its license as a university after the dictatorship and things like that. And it used to be like a coalition of left organizations. So because during this time, the Communist Party was still outlawed in Chile. So basically there was like different like it was more of a consensus. So and it was like very focused on intellectual pursuits and arts and things like that. They would bring like uh, writers and intellectuals and artists from abroad, like all the most important like semiotics, like all the people from La Sorbonne and all that. But what happened was that then the communists decided to buy it, and instead they had like the chance to make it in sort of like something like a commune, like an anarcho co-op. But instead of doing that, they owned it as a party, in a weird sense, like a corporation more than a co-op, which was kind of weird. And I forget the time when I had like this when I was talking about Chile, like maybe I should have added like this kind of like guy that was from the left in the Allende during Allende that went to Cuba. His name is Max Marambio. He was like deep within the government of Allende, as like his father was like part of the team of bodyguards, and also from a left of Allende, and also of a leftist, more like action, more like a Maoist organization called Mir. And but in Cuba, I guess like around the time, then he wanted to come back to Chile because of the return, quote unquote, of democracy. Um, he started to do like a whole like corporate thing of trying to do business, because it started out that Fidel Castro gave him like several opportunities in Cuban tourism and things like that to do like sort of like shadow businesses in Europe, especially in Spain and things like that, in order to siphon money back to Cuba. And then from there, he started like using that money to lend to various enterprises, and he became a sort of like I think he went full right wing and trying to be like a sort of a businessman at the same time. He wanted to be like a film director, film producer, a very like self-centered, like grandiose personality. And he also put money for this university, but and they also got like a huge donation from Venezuela, a grant, in order to keep this university afloat, because it was like bleeding students and things like that. I'm saying it's just a case of a missed opportunity, and it was finally the university foreclosed, and because the Communist Party was invited to get into um, the center left coalition that's kind of currently ruling, perhaps the previous one, with a more like the previous one that was more center left, that allegedly defeated like Pinochet in the plebiscite, and now they joined the coalition with Boric and all those, which if you remember, I used to call them like the new moderate left, like the upstarts,
Right.
because they were from the student movement. And like like topical things nowadays. Well, basically, it's that like this is one of like the many opportunities where the communists kind of like turned into a mindset. So what they did was they they grabbed they paid off this guy Marambio, and they grabbed a huge chunk of the Venezuelan money, and they sold off all the assets and things like that. Left a lot of students. It's like a huge thing that goes against them, especially when it comes to right wing propaganda. Sort of as I was saying about what happened to the French Communist Party in 1968 riots and things like that. And regarding as I was saying, like the topical theme, now Chilean students are kind of like they're not in like they're in a protest, but it's not like they closed down like the main university here, the University of Chile.
Hmm.
It's that they built like they have like camps, So there's like a two,
Encampments. Yeah,
like encampments, right?
like what, like how the pro-Palestinian student protesters and everywhere. I mean, started in the U.S., but
Oh,
it
so they
moved.
didn't. So in New York they didn't shut down the university. They were just encampments.
Yes, they didn't shut down, but over there they shut down the university.
No, it's the same thing. It's just that
Right.
there's like a difference of perspective, or perhaps it's like some sort of like counter. How can I call it? Like propaganda, or like trying to give it bad publicity that they're trying to block the university. Um, they're trying to criminalize it that way. Even like the center left government is seeing it that way. There's sort of like the moderate left coalition is sort of like in a kind of like AOC bind, where they're
Right.
too institutionalized and they don't see like the previous like they don't have enough street cred, shall we say, in New York terms. And yeah, they're not street enough. So or they lost like that kind of presence in order to be like in order to be mainstream and institutionalized. So the other like uproar was that they did like a mural, and it was like that mural where Brezhnev kisses Honecker or something like that in East Berlin among the wall. It's very famous. So they did the same thing with what do you call it, like the director of the university. What's the term, like the dean, I guess. Here we call them the rector. Um, it was the mural featured her kissing Netanyahu as like a protest. It's similar. It's sort of the similar things because of course there's like a lot of like academic ties between Chile and Israel amongst these institutions and things like that. Especially, I mean, here in Chile, Israelis own the water now, the main water company, and they even have like they have like their own firemen clubs. What happens here in Chile is that the firemen aren't they don't get paid. They're volunteers, and they survive because of donations, especially donations from foreign governments. So there's like a traditionally there was like the French company, the British company, the Italian company, and since I guess like the 1930s, no, not the 1930s, of course not, the 1960s, there was like the Israeli company, I guess, and so it makes it like very difficult sometimes to like go against Israel if they're like so embedded to a certain degree in Chile. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the communist mayor, and that I mentioned. There's like two communist mayor. One is more moderate than the other. The other is of Palestinian origin. So previously there was like a
Hmm.
huge, but since he's Palestinian, he's been since 2014 um, discussing like advocating for a free Palestine and all that. I
Right.
mean, the recent polemic was regarding that there was like a group of Chilean communists of Jewish origin that like wrote supporting Israel in the attacks of October 7th, and he argued against it. And there was like a main like personality of a Jewish um, uh, uh, origin that was very important in the fight against Pinochet, called Carmen Hertz, and he started arguing whether, I mean, it was very like outspoken that whether or not she should be a communist because she's Jewish and a Zionist and supported Israel, sort of like the whole Bernie Sanders thing. But the main thing regarding like the institutionalization of like the left and especially the communists is that he tried to like create, it's always like these grandiose schemes of like sort of like business or getting involved in like trying to do from the macro and try to convert it as an example in the macro. So what this mayor did, was popularize the notion of like municipal pharmacies that would have like cheaper rates than, for instance, CVC in the United States and all that. Because over here in Chile, businesses usually, like, especially in terms of like imports, like pharmaceutical materials and or television sets, whatever, they usually collude to keep prices and and make it very expensive. I mean, even now I bought, like, I don't know, like medicine for that nobody here in Chile probably would be able to buy, which was like $50, $60 for an inhaler or something like that. So the idea was to bring all these prices down and things like that, like sort of like
Right.
do. And he was also trying to, like, in the wake of this, what university I was saying, like this missed opportunity to create like a municipal university that would be like open for like some seminars and such for all kinds of people from different, like, especially like doing perhaps like the work that unions do in the United States to like give like education opportunities and such. I'm talking about like the bigger unions, for instance, the
Uh-huh.
lobbies. And and the thing is that previous to that, the municipalities couldn't directly, like, get compete with the drugstores. I mean, all those like pharmacy companies, like chains. So they had to like do their own, like, sort of like private enterprise. And so what he organized, like, all different municipalities in order to put money into like to buy uh, pharmaceutical materials and things like that. But what happened was the COVID hit. When COVID hit,
Mm.
that stepped up a notch
Right.
because there were more like there was more demand and things like that. So it started like asking for more and more and more like supplies and things like that. But all of a sudden, in the Chilean Congress, they approved that municipalities could buy these drugs directly to providers without having to engage in this whole complicated system of like this enterprise where diverse municipalities and their council members and mayors would be involved. Um, that's the other difference, that we have like different municipalities within one city. So like in New York, each borough would have its own mayor, for instance. It's not just like one mayor for Santiago, Chile. It's like
Uh-huh.
different areas would have their own mayor. And well, so he got involved with this company that was going to provide him with all the medicine. So as a sort of like let's say like sweeten the deal, for instance, in order to go with them, because it was all like in a sort of like a licitation, sort of like a contest with different bidders and such.
Hmm.
That he asked for amount, like a huge amount of like medicines, medical supplies and things like that as a guarantee, and he kept it in like the the like the building, the headquarters of the local Communist Party in his municipality. That and the fact that everyone left the enterprise, he had to default regarding this huge debt that he'd incurred. So in order to recoup a sliver of that like lost money, he kind of like did like he like kind of like borrowed money from the municipality, kind of like from himself. And there was like he was trying to like copy like a one of these like COVID vaccines. So he asked for like I forget the term. I'll be better prepared next time. But it was like he went to a university down south, but the time was like too compressed. I mean, it was like it took too long to approve it and stuff like that. And he was always like sort of like gung ho about it. So uh, what happened was that the providers kind of like this provider kind of like sued against him because one of the members of the provider, I mean, one of the owners of that providing company already had a background of like a president of that he did like this wild scheme of like selling raspberries.
A
And
scheme of selling raspberries? Wait, hold on, you're gonna have to go into a little bit more detail on this one.
yeah, he would like Chile like exports like a fruit and things like that, even though we're kind of like a thinner and such, but we have like good land because of the sediment and all that. But shall we say it's like different than Argentina or Peru. Um, so basically, he said he was selling raspberries to Canada, I think, but they weren't really Chilean raspberries. They were like from China, I think.
What?
And instead of and before getting caught,
Wait, so he
the same guy
pretended
that
to
was selling
sell.
the medical supplies, you see, yeah, it's like at a certain point, yeah, he's my like, which I kind of feel sympathy for. He's kind of like an idiot that he fell for it, and at the same time, right? But yeah, so what he would do before getting caught is that this guy engaged with the scheme of the strawberries, raspberries. There's like a legal option here where you can tell on yourself, where you can like you can like instead of like declaring chapter 11 or something like that, you could say,
Mm.
okay, before I get caught, I'm telling you I did this scheme and all that, but it's not just my fault. I guess it could be like turning state witness or some crazy stuff like that. And and here he did the same thing with this mayor, where he kind of like said that he was getting involved with this scheme and with this like huge amount of money that he was owed, and at the same time the mayor was taking money out of the municipality and things like that in order to cover for it. And then like the governmental party that um, that gets involved in like I think it's like kind of like internal security here in Chile that that uh, it's the prosecutor in these kind of cases. There's been several. I mean, there's very colorful figures. Like there was a woman who was like the mayor in an outer like Santiago municipality, who among other, because she was like kind of like a television personality, kind of like I don't know if you've seen like the Shusha show, kind of like a children's show and something like that. He was
Okay.
like he was like I remember Nine Inch Nails coming on one of these ridiculous shows back in the 90s, like Dance Party America or something like that. Back in the 90s, you probably never seen it, but anyway, some stupid like TV show like that where I don't know, like everybody dances to Brazilian music or reggaeton or whatever, and they give the audience prizes and things like that. Nothing new, I suppose, if you think like of San Francisco, or I think it like you can ask your partner or your wife about Yuli Yum Yum. It's like that kind of
All right. Well,
like the Peruvian shows. So anyway, so she becomes mayor by insulting everybody in the municipality and that she'll do things better. Practically, she did a Trump before Trump, and then I kid you not, like some sort of like publicity shoot, she held a meeting with teddy bears in her like a municipal office. She had all her like plush teddy bears, and she had like a meeting with them, like discussing what should be done for a municipality. while in the background there was like a lot of money being spent on bogus like events in order to like, especially during COVID, supposedly to lift up the spirits. While like main things like health and education went in the municipality, because that's the other thing, that it's not like New York that there's like city education. It's like each municipality is in charge of the education, and now they're going to try to kind of like make that a more of a governmental autonomous purview. But that was kind of like one of the last kind of like kiss offs of just like abortion in Chile, to municipalize the education here in Chile. So it's basically, if you have a charter school, you can ask money from the municipality and they'll donate. So so they'll not donate, they'll give the money to these enterprises. So you can imagine the kind of like fly by night businesses that were engaged in like the business of education, of schooling and such, and which was one of the reasons for the student protests here in Chile. So the thing is that she kind of like, it was like thousands of dollars, like 300,000 pesos or even more that she was owed. So recently she was tried, but she was like she was granted house arrest because this was after her term. Whereas the communist mayor was charged with corruption and all this because mishandling of funds. All of this was like to plug in this hole that was being created with this enterprise of pharmacies, as this was like dying out because of COVID all of a sudden, because all of a sudden he started having all these supplies, he couldn't finish paying for them, and then there was less of a need for them as COVID started ebbing out. But there was even like um, supplies for what's it called, for diabetes, both the chargers as the machine. So in the trial, there was like a whole thing about how long could these what's the duration, what's the expiration date on these diabetes supplies. So the supplies might have an expiration date, but the machines that hold them, the cartridges or whatever, are machines, so they can last like a long while, despite being in storage. So he was charged with that, but it was just, this was like a previous trial, just to see that whether or not the following trial would go along. But the judge was treating it as it was already a precedent for the trial if he was already on trial. So he was granted with like a sort of like a, as we call like prevented jail or something like that, which usually happens if there's like the danger of him jumping bail or something like that, I guess, in the United States. Here in
Hmm.
Chile, it would be like, okay, um, he has to terminate his 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 political functions and all that, so he can't tamper with with the trial or anything like that, and house arrest, for instance. But the judge was charging that he was like a danger to the municipality, and it was very nebulous because it was kind of like, previously it was um, that his supporters were threatening the trial, were threatening the judge or the accusers from this governmental party, or and then it changed to, no, it's these it's because of of his role as a mayor, that he has a lot of power and he can still engage in these activities. And then now it's like, no, it's because we presume him to be guilty, so we have to keep him in jail while the other trial enters its due course. That's why people are charging this as lawfare. We're trying to make the distinction here in Chile between calling it just because he's communist that it's persecution. But I'm talking about it. I mean, a situation here in Chile that it's like there was like another important politician that was charged with raping his own grandchildren, and his
Renee,
son.
just a really quick. Let's wrap this one up because I got a lot more
Yeah,
people
yeah,
calling. Yeah,
okay. No,
sorry about that. I just looked at the
that's
time.
okay. It's just that Chile is learning what.
You're a great you're great at basically telling this telling people what's narrating a story here. So I got
Right,
lost in your
right. But basically, Chile is discovering the concept of lawfare. There's the problem of what's the problems that the left are facing, exemplified by Chile, perhaps, as I gave like the president of France and all that, president
Mhm.
with a C. Yeah. So, okay. Bonne nuit. Je
No,
suis
Renee,
René
great.
du Chili.
Renee, great call. Every now and then I know you like doing special guests calling in, but
Right,
sometimes I just like Renee calling in and giving us what's going on in Chile. Cuz
right,
it's you're good at it.
right. And now it's like the kind of, and there's also Boris, which is kind of funny, but I'll sum it up quick. Like the West just keeps like pouring into his ear, kind of like I guess Saruman with that king. I guess it was a Theodore or something like that. Whole thing. So there was like first there was like Obama like trying to keep him like in the moderate kind of like keeping him to the center,
Mhm.
and then there's the European Union, and nowadays like there's Lula trying to bring him back towards the left, like saying like you're too focused on becoming mainstream and favoring the EU and the West and NATO and all that, that you have to think of the third world and all that. So with that summary, I'll sign off.
Renee, thanks for the call. Have a great night. Bloop, bloop, bloop. All right, let's go back to the phones. Um, what time is it? All right, I'll take maybe one or two more calls. Let's see. Remember, Doomed Live on Skype. Search Doomed Live on Skype. We have a few super chats as well. Let's pull those up. Oh, hey, what's your name?
Hey,
Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Charlie from Washington. How you doing?
Hey, Charlie, I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. I thought I'd take an opportunity. My last opportunity to be able to call into this show as a 37-year-old, seeing as how I turned 30 next
Oh,
month.
you turn 38 next Monday. Nice. Happy
Mm-hmm.
birthday.
Thank you. I'm looking to get a used Ibanez neck for a body blank for an SG special that I bought like a long time ago.
Oh, nice.
And
Cool.
yeah, well, it's cut for left-handed too. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the bump stock ban being
Right.
overturned.
Thank you. I completely uh
Well, here's the
too
thing.
much has been too much has been going on.
Yeah. The thing is, I heard the headline of it from my alarm in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and like within that list of headlines was also the Sandy Hook school, and my first thought was like, that's the second school shootings taking place out that they've just torn down. It kind of shows you their priorities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can understand why Hansi calls in and feels a little like conspiratorial sometimes because, we do know that they hate education and they want to tear down public schools because they just want dumb workers and you just need to be able to read instructions and whatever. And we know that they don't want to do jack shit about guns. And we know that they stopped caring about kids. Like, after birth. So there's no part of this that doesn't make sense, but it's entirely possible that's just coincidences. But, I would not be surprised if this becomes more of a trend too. Because along with thoughts and prayers, no more schools. And, don't tell me you fucking care about kids if you're going to take away their fucking education. Bullshit,
Right.
But especially too, since like, what do you want to protect kids from? Trans people telling them that if they turn out trans, there's nothing wrong with them. That's what they want to fucking. It's frustrating, Just yeah, it's every time there's a mass shooting, I see at least one comment somewhere like, "Oh, this was another trans mass shooter." And I'm like, stop, guys. Like, my problem with the right is they treat guns like fucking toys. Just straight up. If they
Yeah.
don't see what they're doing with these guns, they don't care about who gets in the way or who dies by them. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that overturning of the bump stock ban? I mean, like, I
It's
don't think any enthusiast
it's
shooter
horrible. It's
bump stock
horrible. I mean, it's horrible. Yeah, it's bad.
just makes your firearm more dangerous, and like you should, if you're a gun nut, you should be a safety gun nut. You should take that shit seriously, or you don't actually like it. You just have this fantasy in your head that you're going to use it and be the good guy with the gun, which
I mean,
never happens.
I don't see a scenario why turning your weapon into like a machine gun is necessary. I'm sorry. I just don't see. I don't. I don't understand it.
Well,
But
I do
hey,
see a scenario. We have seen scenarios for it. It's just, the
oh
Las
yeah,
Vegas shooter.
mash. Yeah, that's
For it.
where.
That's the only context
That's why
for
it was
something.
banned because of that. Yeah, of course.
Oh,
But
and don't even get me.
our Supreme Court decided that we have a right to uh, be machine gunned down by a mass shooter.
Yeah, yeah. That's always nice to hear. From people who are lifetime employees, right?
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of like here in Washington, we had a ban on 10-round magazines, and the first thought that popped in my head is, if I was a gun company and had zero soul, I could make a killing selling 9-round magazines at buy one get one prices. But how much less are you gonna do with one less bullet? Come on, like, and the right talks about it. Like, what do you need 10 bullets for? What do you need 30 bullets for? What fucking army are you preparing for? I mean, I know the answer, but Jesus. Oh fuck, man! It's still not the worst headline. On my birthday.
Oh. Oh no. Damn. Hold on. It's my fault. Hold on. I fucked up. I pressed the wrong thing. No. I fucked up. Hold on. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
someone called in on Skype the second I pressed the button. And I guess because Skype, brought their call to the front, it took my keyboard click as accepting the call. So sorry to you, and sorry to that person who.
No, that's okay. That's
yeah.
okay. Technical difficulties they happen.
So I'm sorry.
But
Continue
yeah.
where you left off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, it's just the whole mess is like stupid. Like, I was gonna say the flip side of it is like the right, like exactly how many bullets do you fucking need, really? Like what they don't ask themselves questions like, if I hit my target and the bullet goes through it, is it going to hit somebody on the other side of the wall? What if I miss my target, it goes through the wall and hits somebody on the other side of the wall? What if I hit my target, it doesn't go through the other side, but I turn on the lights and it was my son? They never think of those scenarios. They're thinking of the Dirty Harry scenario. Like, if you want to know how that plays out, how the good guy with the gun plays out, look at how many of those cops were just piled into the hallway in Uvalde. That's what a good good guy, what a gun looks like. Didn't want to go in there because he had an AR-15. So,
Yeah.
but I do also want to say real quick, happy Juneteenth. I mean, I guess happy Juneteenth. Yeah, because it's about when they had to send the federal troops down to Texas to force them to emancipate, to force them to recognize the slavery.
Right.
But happy Juneteenth nonetheless, and happy Pride Month. And if you're a queer person out there, whenever you can, as safely as you can, unapologetically be yourself, because they're trying to take that away from you, and seeing you happy makes them miserable. So, but yeah, I'll let you get to some other callers.
Thanks for the call. It was great.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the phones. And I'm having some real problems with Skype today. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. All right. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, man?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Hansi, how are you? I can hear you. What's up?
I'm trying to pause the live feedback. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
I just came back from a funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was Drake's funeral because Kendrick Lamar did a Juneteenth concert.
Oh, you went to a show.
No, I didn't. I was watching on. I guess it was like in wrestling terms. Kendrick, you know how you got passed the torch to by Drake by winning the world title. So this was basically Drake's funeral at a Juneteenth event in LA, and he played that song calling Drake a pedophile 5 times in a row to close out the concert. And he had
Oh.
people on the stage dancing to it and shit like that. It's a very pro wrestling like angle, basically. That's how I look at all the shit, man. I gotta look at it in pro wrestling.
That's pretty funny.
Just like how when I think about like the Candace Owens side of like the anti-Israel sentiment and some of the pro Zionist sociopaths, I look at that like it's a finger poke of doom in WCW.
Oh, right.
I don't know if anyone in your audience would know that term, but whatever, you know what I mean. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna get a big battle going, then one of them is gonna do the job. I don't know which side is the Wolfpack side, and I don't know which side is the NWO side. Basically, you know what I mean?
Right.
If I don't force another wrestling, I don't want anyone to know. Like, if anyone doesn't know any wrestling terms, right? If you're someone that wants to join like the mega fascist side, which is like the NWO, everyone thinks they're gonna be Hulk Hogan, but they're gonna fucking all be Horace Hogan. That's how irrelevant some of these people are gonna be. You know what I mean? It's like Vince McMahon promising when he took over the territories. He goes, "No, don't worry, come to my promotion. You guys are all gonna be stars. You'll be on lunch boxes and you'll be on cartoons, and basically end up with like a cartoon version of Dusty Rhodes, essentially. You know what I mean? That's basically what's gonna happen if you join that side, I guess, because everyone thinks it's a winning side, I guess.
Right.
All right, you know,
I don't even. I think I've heard all about the that beef that I can hear.
which beef?
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Oh, the Vince McMahon shit.
Yeah.
Oh, did you watch the documentaries?
Wait, I'm sorry. You cut out for a second. I thought you were talking about something else.
No. I was wondering which beef have you heard enough of already? You said
You were talking about Kendrick Lamar and
no.
Drake.
I was moving on to the politics of the shit.
Oh, okay. You might have cut out, and I might have missed something. because I've been having
No,
problems
no, no,
with
no.
Skype.
I was making the political thing of like the finger poke of doom is going to be the pro-Christian side and the pro-Israel side. But I was deciding which one's going to be whatever, and then I said anyone that wants to join the fascist side, what they're called, you think you're going to be Hulk Hogan in the NWO,
Oh,
but
right, okay.
most likely you'll just be Horace Hogan, who just was like a footnote in the group
Right.
in the NWO B team, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
So do you understand all the references now, or do I gotta repeat
Now,
them? Like,
no, now I got
all right.
it.
So, okay, let me ask you a question, right? So let's say you get Jamal Bowman elected, right? Because
Well,
as much as like,
I don't give me that. Don't say. Let's say
no, okay, no, but since you're taking like this whole bull claim, I'm like, okay, I represent what he does. So if he fucks up and he becomes somebody like a Fetterman, then do I blame progressive, or is this somehow blamed on
Who,
fucking?
Bowman?
Well, I mean, people are.
I mean, he's been
People,
in office. He's been good. He's been pretty good.
no. I know he's been good, but what I mean is everyone eventually turns into Fetterman, right? And progressives were hyping that guy up, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like at some point, a lot of people who are progressive, who say they are, they advocate for people who end up turning like pieces of shit. So it's like sometimes I wonder if like I should even trust if Jamal Bowman is just because he's good on the aesthetics, whatever. Will he end up being a good fucking person? Is my question. I mean.
I mean, he's already. I mean, he's even facing a potential loss, he hasn't backed down on his position on what's happening in Gaza.
Well, I mean, but don't you think sometimes with certain people, and I'm not saying with Bowman, but just in general, don't you think sometimes people know that that's what people want to hear because they know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say that sometimes some of the people in the
I mean, for
system,
Jamal Bowman, it might cost him his seat. So I mean, it's not. I don't think that's the case with him at all.
I mean, I don't think it'll cost him his seat. I mean, once you become a sports entertainer in the world of
Mm,
politics, you'll still trust me. He'll have a show on Twitter, basically. Come on, you know what I mean? He's not gonna go anywhere in the public figure though. Like
I mean,
even if he,
what good is he going to be there? We have one less person in.
it's well, okay, do you watch The Boys, the TV show The Boys?
I have. I watched the first season.
Okay, because now it's getting good because now it's really being really reflective of what's really happening now, and it's basically how okay. So if you equate the celebrities with superheroes, right, and these sports entertainers, right, if you equate those in that world, it's basically a bunch of people who are basically superheroes that are trying to take over the government with
No,
the
I know. I've
same
seen the
fucking
show. Yeah, I've seen the show. I just
no, no, no,
haven't.
but no, but what I'm saying is going to the next level in this season right now, right? So I look at certain people like AOC as being sports entertainers. Like I think even though they're supposed to represent, they have power. I think there's other factors behind them that have fucking power. You know what I mean? Like you don't really have to be somebody that's actually in office because you can manufacture consent being someone who's a celebrity. And a lot of these politicians have become like fucking celebrities, basically. They're basically sports
Eh.
entertainers. You don't
Some
see
of them
that?
have. No, some of them have. I would say the ones that I support are not that because then I wouldn't support them.
But I mean, but you have to sports entertain to fucking get something done. I'm not saying it means they're all bad. I mean, everyone has to sports entertain to some extent. Bowman does. Bowman does that type of sports entertain, even though he's good on issues. But like you don't think him getting into pretentious like spats with Marjorie Taylor Greene on the Congress steps is like it feels sports entertainment. It doesn't feel. It feels okay.
I see what you're saying, but I mean, you got to address you have to address these people. So I mean, it's almost impossible at some point for it to turn into a beef like that, I guess.
I get it, man. It just listen, man. I'm just I just okay. Listen, if I believe the world's already going in a direction in a predetermined route, I know you don't believe in predetermined shit, whatever, and all that, obviously. But I
Wrestling's
mean,
predetermined.
yeah. Even the online stuff is predetermined too. By the way, It's another fucking story. But no. But like, if I already see the view of where it's going, right? It just feels like everything else and all these attempts are just like filler before we just get to the eventual. Like how many times in the last 8 months have you said, "Oh, is there going to be a ceasefire? We should have a ceasefire." And again, even though there should be a ceasefire, we know deep down there's not going to be a ceasefire. They always, oh, a temporary ceasefire. Oh, look, Israel broke the fucking agreement. Like it's constant fucking gaslighting, bro. That I just see I just see that billionaire fundamentalists are trying to get their end times prophecy, and I feel like even, and by the way, like even people who are celebrating Trump taking an L, like I seriously like I'm happy that he's getting held accountable, but I also think that what's it called, he has more people at his disposal, where like the more his back is against the fucking wall, it'll be more justified reason for why they have to act in however they're gonna fucking act. And I'm just worried about good people who are not going to be prepared, because we keep dumbing down, oh, Donald Trump is evil, he's a democracy, but we dumb him down with comedy basically all the fucking time. Like I'm just sick of all the villains having to be comedic fucking billionaires. Either tell us the R-rated fucking truth of what they fucking plan on doing, or like stop like dumbing them down by, oh look, Elon Musk liked a horse porn. Basically, oh my god, we're gonna dumb him down even more. Like I'm just saying, if we talk about these billionaires, we shouldn't be dumbing them down. That's the issue that I have, and I feel like if you're not conspiratorial thinking a little bit, you're like letting the right wing be more conspiratorial for their own fucking gain. But like, it's okay to be conspiratorial if it means you want to stop fascism from fucking happening. Basically,
I mean, it's not, but it's. I mean, I sort of see what you're trying to say, but it's not like there's a difference between like, I would say what you're saying and give me another example.
okay, no, okay, I just okay. I feel like because the world is going into a more of a Christian fundamentalist mindset, right? And I do believe, okay, and because I had this theory that celebrities that are being canceled, cancel culture to me has always been a right wing fucking marketing tool. It's see, this is what I know you don't want to believe. You're part of a leftist mafia, but you don't want to believe in mafia practices that go on in the industry for some reason. But I'll break it down this way: every fucking celebrity that is like taking a political fucking stance and being a political fucking figure, I believe you have to be initiated into doing some fucked up shit. And then when you're ready to be exposed for it, it's basically to show you, hey, these celebrities are above the fucking law. All you'll have is show trials with predetermined results. But the reason why you're finding out about these fucking people is because the more they're exposed, it's like they're crossing over into a religious fucking side. Look how many baptisms you're seeing of different celebrities getting baptized. It's like simple. I know you're gonna say, oh, out of touch celebrities and all that kind of stuff, but I do think that these people are ready for a next portion of where this world's going, and it's gonna go in a very fundamentalist civil war type fucking era. That's why you're seeing these. I think this is why I pay attention to celebrities, is because not because I give a shit about the actual fucking like disagreements. Look at the symbolism of what they represent, bro. And I don't think people see the bigger picture. We just think these celebrities are regular fucking people. They're not regular people. They're like soups. They're superheroes. You know what I mean? For better or fucking worse. I can't believe we watch all these movies and entertainment, yet we can't figure out what's going on with when we're just consuming, we're perpetuating what we've consumed the last 30 years with all this type of entertainment. Everything feels like forced fucking sitcom level shit now. Like it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like it's all scripted. It feels orchestrated, if that makes sense. I don't know if that. No, you're not gonna agree with anything I fucking said or whatever, but you know what I mean. That's how
I see what you're saying. I would say it's not quite that though. I mean, just because it feels that way. I mean, it's sure. Do people put on a show? Yeah, of course. But like, not everything is like being like plotted and planned out in that way.
You're dumbing, you're dumbing it down again. See, this is why I can't talk to anybody. I mean, listen, I mean, I can talk to you a little bit. If you're not willing to see the full view, then what? I mean, what? I feel like I'm a broken fucking record. I mean, at least you'll get some good audio out of it. If something happens to me, at least they'll play this fucking
What are you
stream.
doing? What's going on? Why are you getting so upset?
No, I'm not getting upset at you. I'm just getting upset at the whole fucking world. We think we're woken up, but we're just sleepwalking, bro. We're not woken up. We're sleepwalking. No one's woke. We're half awake. We're walking around. We're like, oh yeah, yeah, that's fucking. We're not fucking woke. We're not woken, bro. I imagine if something happens to me by the Howard Stern show and the Illuminati, that if they make a documentary about me, this is going to be the documentary. This rant of you not knowing what the fuck is going on or whatever. And he
What
goes,
is
and the
going?
next thing,
Is something happening with you, Hansi? What's going on?
I always feel I'm targeted, man. You know what I mean? I always feel I'm targeted.
Why?
I-
Why?
It just when you've been outspoken like I have, and there's been other forces online who are, I believe, feds. I believe a lot of these online shitheads are feds who are trying to radicalize me into going more extreme, whether it's embracing right wing ideology or pushing me to the brink of like generalizing me so much that I wouldn't like if a bunch of pro Israel people online were generalizing me and calling me a terrorist and all that. Basically, they're trying to push me to become completely anti-Semitic. That's why I take the fucking thing seriously. Of yes, being anti-Israel politics, whatever, and genocide, obviously there's a difference between falling for every right wing. And this are 10 years ago, I would have been buying into someone like Candace Owens or Jake Shields or a Nick Fuentes, whatever, and all that kind of shit. That's what I'm trying to fucking say. Like, you know what I mean? I've been targeted in that regard. So I've been low key, but they're always keeping an eye on me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always monitored. Everything that I do is monitored because I'm a puppet who got exploited, and all the stuff in my head is it's just theories in my head. I can't prove any of it until they want to make a documentary, obviously, because what's it called?
Who's making a documentary?
You know what I'm saying? That when you're someone in the system that takes systemic fucking mental or physical abuse, they suppress it for so long. And this is not just about me. I'm talking about every fucking victim that fucking has dealt with something by powerful fucking people. They keep it silent until they can fucking market their downfall, and then they let the people come out and fucking like get some vindication for it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, they didn't care about what's her name, Tara Reid, but then unless she got vindication by the Russian government, she then all of a sudden got like, oh, Joe Biden raped her and all that, but now she is doing right wing talking points as well. You know what I mean? So like, it's like if you get victimized, it's like you have to go co-sign with somebody who will give you vindication because nobody cares until they can profit off of your trauma. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people in the industry that are traumatized or victims of that shit who don't get talked about, whatever, right? And I could have done the easy fucking thing, and I could have gone against Howard Stern in the he's too woke category. That's the way they wanted me to position myself in going after Howard for being a liberal, even though I don't believe he's a liberal, basically. So I didn't go the right wing route, even though people were throwing fucking offers at me that they would amplify me up if I'd gone more right wing, basically, or if I'd done things their fucking way. That makes sense. I don't know if that does, but whatever.
I hear you. I understand. I get it.
I took you to so many. I feel like I tired you out even 10 times more. Like you,
I'm tired to begin with, but no, don't worry about it.
I get it, man. With the call, I just wanted to vent a little bit, man. Listen, I know I bring up things that go beyond what you really want to talk about, so it's hard to engage with what I fucking said. But like, listen, I'm just saying that even though I'm a conspiracy guy, you might not believe everything I fucking say. I'm not a right wing fucking guy. I just think people on the left are like want to fight a certain fucking way against the right wing, but it's like you guys want to sports entertain to go at them. Like for example, like when you guys like point out, oh look, Ron DeSantis was wearing cowboy boots. Like, do you really think that dunks on him, or do you think it just advertises the boots? Like, these guys don't care if they look foolish if they already know that their end goal is to get power, so they don't fucking give a shit. They're being talked about is what I'm saying. I'm just tired of people downplaying the threats that are coming, man. Because innocent
Well, I don't
people are
think
going
I
to be.
do that.
Well, I wouldn't say you, but I'm talking about like other people in the left space, like progressive fucking space. You know what I mean? Like I think certain people do that. I'm not saying they do a bad job with everything else, whatever. They do a good job with other things, but I just think sometimes we downplay these fucking villains, and we rather always like cater it towards comedic framing. I guess that's what bothers me. It's like it feels forced. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Like everything feels like I don't know. I'm going all over the fucking place.
No, don't worry about it. I
I
understand the frustration.
No, I get it. And listen, maybe if someone if some people are insiders and they know where the world's going and there's a fucking plan with bunkers to help innocent fucking people, then I feel much better. But because I don't know any fucking thing, the only thing I have is getting messages from my fucking dreams. Because I think the dream world is like a new place where they give you ideas and we're all interacting with each other, right? So because I don't know anything going on. I have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm just making predictions because I don't have a fucking plan. I don't know where I'm going to end up. Because if fascism takes over, bro, I'm fucking finished. You know what I mean? And that's, I guess that's fine, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll get my fucking head cut off in a public execution or something like that. But
Hansi,
I just
man,
don't.
calm down. My
I just don't.
God.
I don't know where it's going, bro. I'm sorry. I'm scared. You know what I mean? But whatever. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I just think we're not taking.
nothing like that's gonna happen to you. Nothing like that's gonna happen to you. All right.
All right, no, okay, yeah. I'm already killing the mood. I'm sorry. I want to come on an event. I'll come on next time with a better topic or something. All right, man. Peace
No,
out.
it's all good. It's all good. Have a great night, Hansi. Just you're okay. All
All
right.
right,
Everything's gonna be okay. Don't be upset.
peace out.
Have a good night. Sometimes Hansi gets so hopeless. That's what I'm looking for. All right, I'll take one last call, and that's a night. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello,
Hey,
this is.
hello,
Can you hear me?
hello. I can hear you. What's up?
Uh, I found an apartment. Can you see me? My hair's a mess.
I cannot. No. Oh, now I can see you. Hold on. Hold on. Who is this?
Osama.
Hey, Osama. Oh, you got a microphone. You got a little studio set up. Nice.
No, this is. I'm setting up the room. I'm in a basement,
Okay.
so semi-basement basically.
All right.
And I'm trying to figure out like what to do. So wait 1 second. How do you flip this in on Discord? Oh, there we go. Switch channel.
I got no idea what you're trying to do, my friend.
There we go. Oh,
You just
Yep.
shut it off.
no, I didn't. It's back.
Okay. What's up?
No, but not much. What was happening with Hansi?
I don't know what's going on with Hansi. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah,
Sometimes he gets a little bit
anxious,
yes.
paranoid. I guess yeah. Look at the mask and this the heron.
Oh, nice.
I
Cool.
haven't, yeah, I haven't set everything up, but I'm trying to figure something out. But yeah, um, other than that, it's kind of funny. I'm calling you right after Hansi again, 11:30 exactly. Did you see the White Six stuff online?
The what stuff?
White Six.
I did. I thought Hansi was going to ask me about that, but he didn't.
Well, you have the two people, and one of them didn't, so the other one did.
I loved it. This is what people don't know. We're talking wrestling now. I'm a fan of it. I think it's cool. I think it's a great way to give Bo Dallas something to do. It's a good way to honor Bray Wyatt. You know, actually do the last. Actually deliver to the last storyline he was planning. I'm a sucker for horror gimmicks in wrestling. I think it's great. I know other people don't like it, that's
A
fine.
lot of them do. The problem is, okay, they said this isn't supernatural. So that just makes me think, is Chad
Yeah,
Gable
the weirdest thing is people lying, pretending like, oh, they just killed off all these wrestlers or whatever. No, they didn't. There wasn't supposed to be. No one was killed off.
No. The problem is they said that it's not supernatural. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's not supernatural, what was Chad Gable doing with the blood?
No, he was just attacked. That's all. He was bleeding. That's all. Like, I don't know why people think he was killed. He was bleeding.
It was like the video game. Video game Batman doesn't kill type.
I mean, it was very clear to me that he wasn't killed.
No, but did you see the blood splatter? In real life, that much blood makes you dead.
It wasn't that much blood. It was a little bit of blood on his head.
No. You didn't see? If you rewatch it, in the back on the wall, there's a splattering of his entire blood, which basically is them saying someone shot him.
No.
Yes, go and watch it again.
I will right now. Actually, you have me.
Yeah, but don't get copyrighted or whatever. I don't know what.
No, I'm not gonna watch it on air. But
the blood was filled. The wall was filled with blood. If you watch it behind Chad Gable.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god, I gotta check this out now. Hold on, I'm trying to find the video. I'm trying to find the clip.
Oh, yeah. So how's everyone in chat until then? How are we holding up?
Almost there. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'm at the part where there was no splatter behind them. You guys are making this up. I'm looking right now. There's no splatter behind them.
Did you see the blood on the wall?
There's no blood on the wall.
Then I'll check it later and confirm. There was blood on the wall. I'm not sure if I thought it was with Chad Gable. Maybe it's not with Chad Gable. There was someone's blood on the wall, on some wall. I know that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. There was some guy in like a suit, but that's not Chad Gable.
Oh, okay. So Chad Gable then the guy, some executive.
That's not that much. That's not enough blood to be dead though. That's just. But
How
that's
did he
not
get on the
Chad
wall
Gable.
then?
So they killed one of the backstage workers.
How
They
is
didn't
they
kill-
addressed it on SmackDown
They
is the
didn't
funny
kill a
thing.
wrestler in the storyline. They did not kill a wrestler. Okay, I don't know why people are making that up.
Yeah. But now they have to address it on SmackDown, right? Like the first thing they have to do is rest in peace. I don't know, Eddie Burbank or some random
Eddie
backstage guy.
backstage. Eddie WWE. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Eddie worked really hard. He was a backstage crew guy. He died doing what he loved.
I mean, I thought it was. I'm excited to see what they do.
I love it.
If they destroy it, if they kill the gimmick, then literally just end it. Like wrap it up and end it. If they don't handle it well, then they should just end. Shut down the gimmick.
I have a thing which I don't know if people will agree with. I don't know if you look. So what they should do with this group is, even if like planning wise already, have it be like a planned out 3-month or whatever thing, and like don't keep it long term like with the Fiend or whatever, because then finish the story that Bray Wyatt was sort of writing. Also, not let it be ruined in some way. If you plan it out for 3 months, you can sort of get away with it, right? You could be like these cycles. If the same for and caused terror for like went through the roster in 3 months or whatever, and then something leads to their downfall. Don't keep it long term. It's my opinion. Really good story there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm here for the ride. Let's do it. The one thing I never get about people with wrestling is wrestling has no seasons. There's no time constraint. Wrestling is seemingly here forever. Especially WWE. So like why rush anything? Just try shit out. If it doesn't work, you wrap it up.
Simon was like, it'll be Raw will still be a ring until the heat death of the universe.
Yeah, it'll never. They're never going out of business. They are the biggest on the market in the space. They're
You need growth is the thing. Like a problem with capitalism is grow, 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 grow. They don't. They can. They're sustainable. Like if companies have that mindset, they can last for. Like it's not like a technology will come about and end wrestling.
yeah.
It's like any sport. But they should involve the whole roster and be like a short, because then you can involve the whole roster. It can be short term, and it'll be a new thing in wrestling because it's usually and then you're forced into changing. Like with Seth Rollins, it's happened a lot.
Right.
But wouldn't it be kind of in a way where this character existed for this short amount of time because it was planned that way, and then they could have both do something after that.
Right. Right. Or maybe this is him for good if it works out.
If he wants to retire, yeah, for sure. If he doesn't, then give him something new. Like keep the face mask. Bo Dallas never gets. They could keep the face mask on, have them come back as their own version. Never, don't call them their actual names. Don't reveal their faces like, oh, it's Dexter Loomis or whatever.
Right.
I would
Right.
assume. Okay, besides wrestling, what else has happened this week? I'm not honestly asking because I haven't been paying
I mean,
attention.
today is Juneteenth, and it's a very important holiday, obviously. But it also cuts the week in half, and I have not paid attention to what happened today at all. I've been spending time with my kids. But what was I going to say?
I'm just going around getting some things sorted out and everything. So yeah, I haven't either.
And I'm looking forward to the going upstate in 2 days to canvas for Jamaal Bowman and take part in this event. It should be fun. It should be worthwhile. It should be interesting. It should be get me back in the mode of things at the very least. Like for selfish reasons, it'll get me back in the mode. I think people have noticed. I've been feeling kind of bummed out in recent months. And I think it's been progressively weighing down on me. And I haven't been as active online because I need to clear my head from the especially Twitter. Twitter is horrible now.
Yeah,
I can't even. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You'll be with awful human beings like Wash, for example.
I got from what I know of him, I got no issue. I know there is some weird thing he did. I don't know the details behind it.
No. So everything is always like either it's 0 or 100. So it's like either they're sycophants, people who like him, or they're like complete haters. Like he'll breathe wrong. Look at him, he's evil. He breathes and they try to signal something.
Right.
It's weird.
Right. I mean, I'm not a fan of anybody. I'm not a hater of anybody. I take it as it comes, and I.
Yeah, I'm like, if they're saying something or covering something, then sure, I'll attention. If they're not, then I'll just ignore them. I ignore Destiny and I ignore Brianna Wu or whatever she's doing. Although it's fun to make fun of them if they're being really real big idiots. Or
I don't think I've addressed a lot on this stream, but I haven't really gotten into the muck on Twitter with all of it because I don't feel like it's like I like this, like what's happening over there has, like in Gaza, has affected me greatly, and I just don't feel like taking part in like the meaningless fucking feuding with online personalities over it.
Yeah,
I even think like the people who I agree with and are in the right, I think they should even for their own mental health and to be able to focus on covering the issues, which they do so well to begin with, and I don't want them to like burn out. They should just fucking. It's pointless. It's one thing to go at it. It's one thing to go at it with people who like.
I feel like
there's I do think like when you go at it with right wingers over like the issues you usually go at it over with them over, I do think there is usually uh, a point to it. I don't feel like there's a point to arguing with
I
people
don't.
over
I feel
whether
like
it's okay to
no one
kill
does it.
innocent women and children
Yeah, yeah.
through airstrikes and snipers to their head, um, to not even save hostages, because we already know that more
Yep.
hostages have been saved during the temporary ceasefire than there
And
were
more
any other time, and more
as well
hostages have been killed. Yeah. So I mean,
by
I don't really
innocent
feel like there's
people.
any argument or any to be
Yeah, yeah.
had that
This
makes
argument.
my time worthwhile to with those people.
Yeah.
I truly think um they are the lowest of the low. Really, I think little less. I think less of them than I do think of like a generic right winger who I would usually spar
Yeah.
with. Seriously, I really I do.
So the good thing is that at least on this issue, no one's done that. I feel like a lot of people are tired in general of the troublemakers because there's like this Twitch thing where a lot of people were doing that, and those people came and went, sort of like these, and a lot of them were like trying to engage and cause controversy in general, and then these stupid attention, but only like viewed it from the sidelines, and then the audience, the political space that was got this wrong impression, and I feel like that audience is trying to go into doing something like that, but there's to avoid like ignore them or get rid of them is what like a lot of streamers are doing as well these days. Is like you're all insane type of deal. Uh, but what I meant more was like if I'm just scrolling right and I see something idiotic, then if I'm in the mood,
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I
yeah, yeah,
I probably that maybe there'll be a point. Maybe this weekend will draw me back in. I don't know, but personally, I needed to take a step back, and
I
it
so
was
many.
it was from Twitter. You know, I still cover everything on
Yeah,
here, and there is a difference. Twitter is a platform that literally the way it's built, and I'm not
it's
even
different.
just blaming like Musk, even though like
Yeah,
obviously there's been
no,
a
no,
lot
it's
of
different.
changes under him, but Twitter as a platform was built from the beginning
It's designed.
to sort of it's designed to cause these sorts of interactions.
You can
And
like
I'm not saying the as a whole, you can't find that
yeah,
on YouTube or Facebook. But once you build your community on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever, you have much more control over it, and it's more insular if you want it to be that way. And like, look at my my live chat audience when I stream. Like, will we get some trolls every now and then? Sure. Do I even say it's fine as long as they're not ruining? But just like the way it is built to work, it just doesn't cause that same like I'm not gonna a guest of mine isn't gonna get dogpiled on YouTube, um,
yeah.
while I'm interviewing them. It's just not gonna happen.
I
That's just not
I
how it
feel like
works.
yeah. I feel like you could we raised this sort of how each app is developed to be like Facebook is designed for hate sharing. Basically, you see some idiot makes a fake story, and then some guy sees it and then shares it on WhatsApp in his own group, and then that group one person sees it, shares it to their group, and that's how it spreads from Facebook to WhatsApp. Like the core, basically, that's what it's bread and butter. With TikTok, it's like these micro trends that keep coming and going and developing that sort of thing, like the like stupid dance or the NPC. With YouTube, you could see this DNA of like whatever like everyone was trying to copy Mr. Beast, for example. Of course, there's other stuff as well because it's video sharing. I'm just talking about the main core thing of that.
Right.
Was its appeal was that you could just, even if it's like a world leader, you could just go and stupid enough to reply back that you can have a back and forth with a world leader even.
Yeah. No, I
That was
mean
the
it was. Listen, I'm not saying. I just think for this particular time period,
of course.
Twitter has not been productive. Yeah.
I mean, it can be productive or not, but it's saying like
right.
Well, let's make a completely new app or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but
well, Usama, I appreciate the call. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I still want to leftist mafia thing.
Right. We haven't had. We'll get back to like getting.
Sure.
We'll definitely make it work.
Yeah. Oh, they're like Netanyahu said some stuff, and then the U.S. got really angry and canceled their meeting with him or something.
I don't. I mean, oh no!
Like
oh no!
Finger wagging.
No! Biden canceled the meeting. Oh no! I mean, who gives a shit?
Yeah. He's still coming to the U.S. right? Because of
as far as I saw, that's still going on. Yeah. He attacks Biden, and nice to see that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer invited him to come speak before Congress. What a wonderful, if the left dared to like lightly criticize Biden in hopes of getting some sort of compromise on some sort of policy or something with him, we want him to lose the election. But if you're an establishment Democrat and you literally invite a guy cheerleading for Donald Trump to come talk to Congress, then and then he also puts out a video attacking Biden, you don't get attacked for being anti-Biden. I love how it works.
And people should. I feel like people at this point, like it doesn't even matter. Bus people in what Washington in a way where you can't do that. Like not even let him get to the Congress building if that's even possible. I don't think it is. But have and this is an international issue, and he's an international speaker, so it's not like a local Washington type issue. If people come in from anywhere, it's relevant.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Israel's getting has plans ready to attack Lebanon as well.
I think I saw that. Yeah. These guys, man.
I feel like I don't think Israel can survive, but
I mean, I hear people saying that. I mean, they're certainly losing their like stature among the global like community. But I mean, it's not like. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see in terms of like what it translates to. But
it's just the U.S. Some people in the UK and some in Germany, but like mostly it's just the U.S. and like there's these three countries, and one of the world just happens to be the world superpower.
Oh yeah, well, just it's a pretty big little addendum there. Oh, just one of them happens to be.
But BRICS will save us, didn't you hear?
Yeah.
The petrodollar is about to fall any day now.
Yeah.
The Saudi canceled a deal with the U.S. petrodollar.
Right. Yeah. Any day now. Right. Well, Usama, it was a pleasure. Was there anything else?
No, have a good one. Canvassing, and hopefully Bowman beats him so thoroughly that no one wants to take Apex money because they're losers.
From your mouth to God's ears. Right. Osama, thank you so much. Great call. All right, folks, that's it for calls. Someone wants to call in for the first time. I would love to have you on, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to give you my best. I'm exhausted. I don't think I'll be able to give you a good first call. Would you mind calling in next week? I'll take it. Last call of the night, I'll take it. First time caller, I'll take it. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, they hung up. Oh, all right. He said he'll call in next week. Sounds good. All right, he'll call in next week. That works for me. All right, let's go. Let's take these super chats, and then that's it. That's the show. Kowalski and Wanda both with super stickers. Thank you so much. All right, he's calling in. I'll take it. Let's do this. First time caller. I said I'll take it. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, this is Dave from Tampa. How you doing, man?
Hey, Dave. It sounds like your audio's not coming in through the mic on your on your headpiece. It sounds like it's coming from your computer or something. So it's you sound kind of far away. It's okay. This happens sometimes. No big deal. We'll make it. We're gonna make this work.
We'll make it work. Okay. I'll try.
There you go. You fixed it. You fixed it for a second. It sounded like. Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
That's much better. So hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Dave, Tampa. How you doing, man?
Hey, Dave from Tampa. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Which district do you live in, by the way? Do you live in AOC's district, or where are you at?
I'm the district right over. I'm right over. I'm in Grace Ming's district.
Okay, cool. And also, I guess, border Jamaal Bowman's, right?
AOC's district spans Queens and the Bronx, so she's to the left of me and above me, but right above that is Jamaal Bowman's. Yes.
Gotcha. Very cool. So yeah, I live in Florida's 13th congressional district, and I looked up the voter registration statistics for my area,
right.
Which you can easily look up on the county website. And dude, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I want to say like 50, maybe more, are over the age of 66 and are majority white. Like, moved in to this like Florida like retirement suburb, and I'm like this fire, like socialist. I'm 36, and yeah, I mean, you want to talk about like typical Florida man? I mean, it's like Trump flags, bumper stickers, like all that shit everywhere. So it's just it's crazy. And
they vote. They vote. I wish it wasn't I wish it was the case that more younger people voted. We got to get them to vote, but unfortunately, older people vote.
Well, because they got the time, they get that socialist like universal income, and that socialist universal like medical care, and like, so right now Florida's a $900,000 statewide level Republican registered advantage, but like the non-affiliated voters make up like a third. So I'm really hoping that the marijuana and the abortion amendments that are going to be on are really going to bring people out to vote. And most of my friends call me crazy, but it has a chance to turn blue. It's really just like, I know, man. I know.
I actually think Florida is more lost than a lot of other states that are typically swing states or even lean red. I think Florida is
the third largest state by population in America. Like, that's
a lot
crazy.
Of old people live there. A lot of old people. A lot of Republicans. I mean, it's. I think it's local elections and statewide elections. I don't believe that. I think obviously, there's a lot of great, progressives down there who win races, and there is a strong local sort of, progressive, cohort of politicians that are doing well. But when it comes to the presidential election, I don't see it. I think it's I'm not saying gone forever, but like for the current political atmosphere we are in, I think Florida is a red state for all purposes.
For sure, man. Like, I totally understand. I'm just being like super optimistic.
Oh yeah,
It's like
I'm
such
not knocking that. Please be optimistic. But in terms of like Democrats spending money, thinking they're going to turn Florida around for the presidential election, that money's well spent elsewhere. Better spent elsewhere.
Actually saw, I'm taking this headset off because I realized I'm not using it. So I actually saw a really interesting, I don't know if it's like Business Insider or whatnot, but like since, I don't know, was it like 2000 or whatever? Like the Republican wins in the state is directly correlated with the decrease in Democratic Party spending in the state.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I can try to find it for you.
So
but,
maybe I'm not saying they shouldn't spend money on House races and Senate races. I'm saying like Joe Biden's not winning Florida, so don't like don't spend time like spend the money on Senate races and House races.
Oh, for sure. Well, Rick Scott's up for re-election. The most unlikable person in the world gets elected. Like, one thing to consider is that like during COVID, Florida surpassed Texas like as the fastest growing state in the country.
Oh yeah, people
Like,
are moving to Florida because you had a lot of Republicans moving there because of DeSantis.
But do you really think like people like just move here like just because of politics? Like, I mean, like we have a lot of young people. Like I saw one. I saw it. It was a stupid magazine article, but it was like top cities for millennials to move to, and like Tampa was like #1. So like, I feel like
I just think there's more older people. I mean, even before for non-political reasons. I mean, elderly New Yorkers usually go to Florida to retire. It's like a whole thing. So like, you do have a large like group of people who typically vote Republican moving down to Florida.
that's true. So DSA group, County. I don't live in the city of St. Petersburg. Say that is on the St. Petersburg City Council, and he's actually made a lot of progress on socialist issues. Recently, awesome. I think that St. Petersburg is going to publicize the electrical energy company. They have a private called Duke. And I think that the city of St. Petersburg, their contract's up in 2 years, and I think they're actually getting pretty close, hopefully, to make that public. And there's a second candidate that's actually running to be on the St. Petersburg City Council that I think has a pretty good chance. So I think there's, especially with like the whole 15 DeSantis has been pushing, don't say gay. I would not anyone that has a trans child move to Florida, but I think diverse that it's created a lot of pushback. Like Kansas that has voted to enshrine abortion rights, and I think Florida has a chance. I just think Democrats have to capitalize on it, and it's just Democrats don't fight like do. Democrats are like,
Oh, I am fully with you. I mean, they really love to love to follow the rules when Republicans like, we have to stop Republicans from destroying democracy, but we can't break the rules to do it. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
Was like, well, it's for Kavanaugh or both.
Right.
Like, so crazy that people think that be the civil party. And then the other thing you're put up with is our insurance crisis. A lot of really people on fixed incomes are being priced out and having to move out of the 10x. And, you know, like taxes, much like Florida used to be considered like a cheap place to live compared to the Northeast. And it's actually pretty comparable now. People that move down here and the taxes that you have to pay. In garbage, we're for the working, or we're affordable for you. I honestly, like, as a message, trying to do things that
that's there's the conundrum though. They can't.
It's so crazy. Like, the most recent thing that the Republican legislator did here was it hard company for, and they were like, yeah, that's it's gonna didn't, and we have in the state of Florida, they don't understand the insurance company get insurance company called Citizens Insurance.
Oh well, that's there's a issue with because insurance companies don't want to insure basically houses that are going to be underwater and I mean that's one of the things that Florida is dealing with. Insurance companies don't want to insure homes that are going to be affected by climate change.
And that's totally true, but underlying reason is plenty of
right
else is not. I mean, based on like, I know that sounds, but I guarantee you, without going detail about where I live, the thing is all these like Republicans are. It's called Citizens Insurance. The insurance company, they're like, oh, we're a resort, and now a large insurance company in Florida, and you encourage more people, private insurers that you think of, like State Farm, right in Florida, not just, and flood. It doesn't even consideration because it wouldn't cover flooding, and so I've seen it's recently in the paper where they're like to actually increase that they're able, private insurers are able that company because right in Florida, and then these politicians are like, oh yeah, well they're the insurer. If a catastrophic hurricane wipes out like all the homes in the state, then everyone will be on the hook, and that's the point. It's a net, right? Insurance is like a social safety net. I just to think that like profitable, it's not insuring. And so private insurance market is just absolutely ridiculous, right? Millions of dollars, right? Even if you're just not enough, we're just going to decide to pull out.
That's how it is.
Oh man, yeah. So I used to at a company for Storm Sandy, and I remember they had us call up, registered, and we had to ask them, like, basically interrogate, hey, why was your car parked in, you know, it's registered in like New Jersey? And like I felt so bad because everyone I talked to, they were like, well, I was visiting my cousin and then the storm happened and I had nowhere to go.
Well, it's probably also there's a lot of people who have places in Florida, but they live in New York, but they register their car in Florida to take advantage of the insurance rates. Because apparently it's cheaper to register.
I don't know if you've ever, but the car insurance rates in Florida are one of the highest in the country. I don't even know.
I remember people telling me. I remember. I mean, you know, obviously things change, but I do remember this being a thing. If whether it's still a thing, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, like when I lived in Texas, my car insurance was like $80 a month, and when I moved down here, it was like $200 a month because Florida actually has the highest rate. So if you purchase insurance, which if you have the money to pay for it, adds like hundreds of dollars to your premium. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying Florida's like fucked up. And like a lot of people, it's just crazy that Florida advertises themselves in cheapest state and whatever in America. And it's like, honestly, one of the least free and one of the most expensive states I've lived in. And I used to live in Colorado, and like I felt like Colorado was way cheaper, like overall. And you know, it was quote unquote blue, and I just got way more out of what I paid for in taxes and everything in Colorado than I get down here in Florida. And yeah, it's just fucking crazy, dude. I just like these lead poison boomers are just like, you know, like I was watching Newsmax earlier, and oh god, they were just like, they were talking about how like the Democrat controlled media was trying to say that the whole Biden waving to a paratrooper thing was a hoax, but it wasn't. And like Greta Van Susteren, who I don't think is even Israeli or Jewish, had some like ex-Israeli general on there and she was like, yeah, all people do is like focus on the babies being killed, but they don't talk about like the fact that Hamas hides behind the babies, you know, like that somehow makes it okay. Like, yeah, it's insane, man. I don't know. I can't imagine. Like, I hope that I'm not going to be like that when I'm that old, you know? Like,
well, I don't think we will be. I mean, you know, we're I mean, it's possible. Who knows? Who knows anymore? Who knows? I know I won't be. But
for sure.
Yeah.
And like the other thing that drives me crazy too is like the whole criminal like punishment justice system thing. Like Florida has like some of the most inmates in the country, and of course, like the legislator passed that law that kind of overrode the will of the people, right? Where we said that ex-convicts could vote, but then the legislator was like, "Oh no, you first." Yet they had no like mechanism for them to verify or not you actually like paid off your fines. And like one of the things that drives me crazy is like drunk driving is a very serious issue. It's obviously very dangerous, and like you could have a cop every quarter mile, and you're still not going to stop every drunk driver. And it's like the solution is so much easier and cheaper than paying for more cops. You just have public transportation, right? I mean, and for having public transit. We've got the huge bay bridges that cross the bay between St. Petersburg and Tampa, and like we have tons of tourists, and renting a car is so expensive, and just having like a public transportation option would cut down on drunk driving, but also like generate a lot of revenue by encouraging more tourists to visit the area and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just insane. And that's why, like, when I saw Kathy Hochul override the congestion tax in New York City, first of all, I was like enraged, and I'm like, I can't believe that the governor of New York ride like what local New York Cityers want. Like that makes absolutely zero sense to me. Like I can't believe that she had sole authority to just like by fiat just like ride that. And then like DeSantis did like a similar thing down here. Vetoed, I think like 300 million. I don't know. He line item vetoed a lot of like public projects throughout the state of Florida, so he could say, "Oh yeah, because the government spent $100 million less this year," and that was the only reason. It had nothing to do with like his ideology or anything like that. It was all political talking points. And so I don't know who Kathy Hochul thinks she's going to get on board with her thing and canceling that congestion pricing. But I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, man. And I don't know how you guys have Eric Adams. Like I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Like so many people, and then like no one voted in the mayoral election in New York. And you guys have like how many people live in New York in the boroughs? Like
like
what,
8 million, something like that.
8 million? And what, like less than 1 million voted or something stupid? I mean, it just
man. This is the wonderful. People don't realize New York's not as put together as people seem to think.
Well, obvious, yeah. I mean, I love when I and it's like yeah, Gavin Newsom's in the pocket of corporations like every other politician, like, and then is somehow the bastion of the working.
Oh, hello. You froze for a second.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah,
Am I there now?
yeah. No, you're back. But yeah, I wish I had answers for the
I know. I'm just like venting. I'm not trying to say anything, but
no, I think you make you're making a lot of sense. I mean, I'm with you. I don't, but this is the cards we're dealt with right now. The hand we're dealt with, whatever it is, whatever the saying is. Damn it.
How old are you, by the way?
What's that?
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, cool. So we're like the same age. So you probably had like a job. Well, I don't know about New York's minimum wage, but like you probably had a job that paid like less than $7 an hour, maybe.
In
I don't
high
know if New
school,
York's.
yes, I did. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and in
that's what
college.
and that's what conservatives expect, right? They're like, yeah, we expect people to accept these like fucking dirt wage jobs to like service us. And like, dude, you probably have the same. I had the worst customers. I used to work at like a movie theater and like fast food and like, dude, some of these people were like the meanest people, right? Like,
Yes, yeah, people treat service workers like garbage. Yeah.
and it's so frustrating because you know that these same people that are mean to you couldn't spend like 5 minutes doing the same job that you're doing. You know, like, okay, yeah, you come back here. Oh, it's so easy to flip a burger. Yeah, come back here and enjoy the heat. Enjoy like having to make like 10 burgers at all different like, kinds of burgers, in like 5 minutes. Like enjoy that,
Right.
And it's just, oh, it's so frustrating. Yeah. And I don't know, man. I don't know like what the answer is. I actually Googled earlier tonight like what happens if you refuse to do a job in prison. And it apparently, according to Quora, it varies by state. But like basically in some states they can like starve you without technically starving you. So it's like, oh yeah, you get
Nice.
like an apple, yeah, and then like that's it. And then, oh, we'll give you a full meal one day to prevent you from starving. And then like, oh, other places it's like solitary confinement, and it's like, oh cool, yeah, nice. So you're not gonna beat me with a stick, which is cool, but you can also starve me. So I don't know, man. Yeah, and the same article I was reading was like a lot of these people get placed in dangerous jobs. Like one guy got himself like his leg like to like a cotton gin or whatever and lost half his leg and for that, like,
Right.
And yeah, fucking crazy, man. But yeah, so anyways, appreciate you taking the
Thanks for the
call.
call. This was again definitely calling another time when I'm a little bit more on fire, I guess you can say.
No, you're all good, man. No, you were totally fine. Just wanted to vent, and yeah, I hope you have a great one. And yeah, next time I'll keep an eye out. Next time you're on, might give you a call in, let you know.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Sounds good. All right. Have a great night. Really appreciate the call.
absolutely. See you, man.
Bye. All right, folks. Let's do first of all, calls are done. There's no way I can do more. Bay Photo with a super chat. Bay Photo with a super chat. Thank you, Bay Photo. LOL. Bay Photo said those things that I just read, mocking that I usually say those things. Donald James with a membership super chat, member for 11 months. You're the man, Matt. Thank you, Donald. Renee with a super chat. La Front Populaire was the socialist communist coalition ousted by the Nazi invasions that Americans keep forgetting about. And Salty T with a super chat. Good luck on your canvassing for Bowman, Matt, and have some fun with your other streaming friends too. I appreciate it. Over on Twitch, Heretic Soup, subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much, Heretic Soup. And I missed these ones last week. Valinova used 30 bits twice. Thank you so much, Valinova. I appreciate it. All right, folks, that's the stream. I'm sorry. I'm feeling so knocked out. It's been a rough couple of weeks. YouTube.com/MattBinder, Twitch.tv/MattBinder, Patreon.com/MattBinder if you can become financially support this show with a monthly subscription. Majority Report tomorrow, Leftist Mafia tomorrow. If you're in the area, seriously, come out to the Jamaal Bowman thing, the Jamaal Bowman canvassing event. June 22nd, June 23rd, all the info is in the description. You could sign up with the link in the description right there. Who should I rate on Twitch? Let's see who's on. Oh, Valanova just 30 bits again to gigantify an emote. Interesting. Interesting. Who am I rating over on Twitch? I don't have that many people on Twitch tonight. But sort of a quiet stream tonight. Quieter than usual stream tonight. So I'll just pick. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so knocked out today. Oh, Riverboat Jack. I'm gonna rate Riverboat Jack, who helped with a lot of the planning for the Jamaal Bowman canvassing event. So Riverboat Jack it is. All right, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Leftist Mafia, Majority Report. And hopefully, if you're able to come up, I'll see you over the weekend in person. If not, I'll see you on the streams over the weekend. Take care.